I'm in the whip, I'm in the rest, I never switch, ice in the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause ice on the wrist. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, This for the that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, Be liking my flavor, I think it's cause.
Now we're cooking. Hello, everyone. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden NFL Football on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And last week they put together a 3-touchdown victory and were never challenged in that game. Let's see if they have a little bit of a letdown here.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
So many different reasons teams hit the losing skids, but the best way out of it, something has to happen positive early in the game.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe he leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
Check, 180. Check, 54. Line 54. Let's go one more.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll get this one to Galladay. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
60. 54 Mike. You're not ready. You're not ready. Check.
Stafford going to give this one off to Johnson. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. And one of the big bodies helping out this offense is your boy, Upati.
And all he wants to do is have running plays called. Fire out and smack people.
Set. 250. Check, check. Walk 54. Walk 54. I'm scared.
On second down now, it's Johnson. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
I just consider myself fortunate that I'm not in charge of the offensive line. They gave up 7 sacks last week. And if things don't improve in this game, the head coach isn't going to be looking at the offensive line. He's going to be looking at the offensive line coach. And that's when things get dicey.
Now Stafford. Open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Bryant. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. Let's take a look here at the offense for Minnesota.
It's been quite the evolution for Stephon Diggs because when he came out of high school, many thought he was the top prospect going into college football. Didn't have quite the career that was expected and actually got drafted lower than what many people thought. But, boy, is he playing to a top level now while he's in Minnesota.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line. But I want to see how this defense continues to think. You have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Kill.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Another good run there. He's been good all season long. I don't know if he's going to win that MVP award, but just to be in the discussion, obviously that means he's had a great run.
The raw numbers put him in the discussion. Can he carry his team to enough victories? Can he put them in a spot where we say to ourselves, well, an MVP carries his team to the playoffs. That's what he's going to need in order to get that award.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
Back in the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Against the pass, they've had some issues, ranked number 23 in the NFL right now.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
You might be getting tired of seeing me. Deuce. Joker, here. Joker. Hey.
From the gun on 3rd down. Bryant, he's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Herb Smith Jr., his 2nd touchdown on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll run it with Johnson. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. And, Charles, you look at this offense, their struggles moving the ball well documented. Dead last in the NFL in first downs, but signs of life there.
Yeah, and you and I do, I think, a really good job of respecting the game and respecting the teams. But this squad, they're in a position now where their fan base gets excited when they pick up a first down. They cheer almost like they picked up a touchdown.
Now it's Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 5 catches, 71 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
On second down, Johnson. And an alley to run. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going.
Johnson, it's poked free. Football's out. And the Vikings pick up the football. He's at the 40, 20, 10. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back onto the field comes the offense. Let's take a closer look at Kerryon Johnson. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter. Finished with over 300 yards on the night. Later ended up in the NFL. If you've got a talented back, give it back to him.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. He'll have a first down past the 40. Touchdown, Detroit. Cody Latimer, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn it into a play action, and throw one deep.
And he goes out right around the 39. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Check 26, check.
On second down, it's Cook, and able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. Second and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a third down.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Not the result they were looking for there on third down. They ended up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
And this will be covered up. Pretty good result. It'll be down at the 14-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups, check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Stafford. He gets it complete to Latimer. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. The shotgun snap for Stafford. And Latimer's got it. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. He's up to 87 yards receiving now, and it's a first down. Stafford going to come up 1st and 10, and he's a perfect 5 for 5 here to begin the game. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson, and he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
The first down carry here for Johnson. Mackenzie Alexander in on the tackle. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40. Here's Johnson. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man.
And it's a fumble. And this belongs to the Vikings.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They go play action here on first down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Trey Flowers in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Looking to throw. Bryant, and his throw here's incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, and that takes us from second to third down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
And he's able to find Diggs. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. 79 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line, so they felt like they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Johnson running right. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
On 1st down, Bryant. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 23 yards on the play. Here's Madison running on 1st down. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They find some open field here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down. What did you see there on the defensive side? What allowed that good-sized run?
Well, they were in a cover 2 alignment, which means your 2 safeties are back away from the line of scrimmage. So if you can match up your blocking at the line, at the point of attack, there's usually some room, a big gap between that second level and third, and that's what they were able to exploit.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On third down, Bryant to the goal line, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field in this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. Hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. To throw is Stafford. This one complete to Lacey. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. To the air again, Stafford. Screenplay, Johnson. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on second down, and that leads to a tough third down call. Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. He's up over 100 yards, has the touchdown. He's a big-time receiver in this league, so the question becomes, how do you limit him going forward?
Well, you know the guys trying to cover him, they haven't had a whole lot of success thus far, and while they will still accept the challenge, maybe you have to change your focus. You have to get after the quarterback a little bit, disrupt his timing. Because right now it feels like pitch and catch. Make sure he's not able to have clear sight lines to him, and maybe that'll slow him down.
And this is not the guy you want to let play pitch and catch. Off play action. Bryant lets it fly for Thielen. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there. and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Flushed out right. Lets it fly for Thielen. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Well, he's been the guy, already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
On the return, Harris. A good return there, 17 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but due
to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Off the play fake. Bryant lets it fly for Thielen. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 76 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
McManus's point after is good. And the lead is now 24. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing is Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that will extend this big lead. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
Comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Come on, QB, come on.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass. But in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right. It might go to them in this game.
I like that. MVU. Well done.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Watch 54. Wild Bill. Check safety.
Running from the gun, Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll try the air now with Stafford. He's got his tight end over the middle, T.J. Hockenson. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 40.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield. Who blew that assignment?
Somebody did.
No doubt about it. There's no way you're not going to account for him.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Kerryon Johnson, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Danielle Hunter in there for the sack, and that is now 21 for him on the year. Wow, what a season. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Back to throw, Stafford. They overload him that time with a safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. Now this is fielded in the end zone. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this was just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The roads will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, And they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Harris now to return. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Lions will take over. So the Lions offense ready to go back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit. They're going draw play. Stafford to Johnson. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
27 yards there, a 1st down. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch. Look at
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter play. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now Stafford. That's going to be caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And the lead is down to 24. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's capped off by a touchdown for the Lions. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them right now, not a done deal. So they are holding down one of the final wild card spots. And with 2 weeks to go, there are others kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And imagine what the talk has been all week within their locker room. And it's really, let's rely on ourselves because they could get help and still get to the playoffs. But who wants that? Go out, win the game, take care of things yourself, and then you don't have anything else to worry about.
Switch up, switch up.
At the 32-yard line.
Whoa, whoa. 51's the mic, 51's the mic. Hey, D.
Again, it's Cook.
Undercut, undercut, undercut.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, it's Cook, and he's got the 1st down before being taken down at the 46. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run with Madison. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Going to run with Madison again. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well. Starting to look like this drive, it may be the final nail in the coffin.
Well, this is why you work out so hard, right? This is why you spend all that time in the offseason. This is why you have those OTAs and mini camps for these situations, these scenarios, to run someone into the ground and secure a victory.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. On 3rd down, it's Cook. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down. Stafford now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Stafford, open man is Galladay, complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw again on second down. Stafford, and this is Latimer, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down. An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Here's Stafford. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
54, Mike, 54. Yeah.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Another try after the first down sack. Stafford, open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. From the gun on third down, Stafford. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor in effect.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that will get him one closer. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, You just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Minnesota, it's a critical win for them as it gets them to 9-6 on the year. And then
I just got bags from Prada, rolling up. I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we pack up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after.